Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today we're looking at Inspirewear Series 2. Series 2. This was done 2011 going into 2012. After the first one, it was just plain. It was just me writing words and just playing around with font sizes. This one I solicited the help of a guy who was making t-shirts in Indonesia in a city called Bandung. His name is Yogi. And shout out to Yogi, thank you. And we came up with 3 t-shirts, and the t-shirts were basically the same concept. Inspirewear, just words from the book or quotes that are thought-provoking, quotes that would make you think, and put them on the t-shirts and then sell them. But I wanted to come up with, I decided to move from just words to incorporating a little bit of clever design, but nothing elaborate, just something simple. And bear in mind, this is 2011. Yeah, so we came up with 3 t-shirts, and the pictures that I'm actually going to show now were taken by a good friend, Nikola Kostic, who's an excellent photographer. You should check him out. And so these were 3 images that were taken in order to help promote the t-shirt. It was quite an interesting thing that we did back then, just messing around, trying to see what works and what we could do with it. And we sold quite a bit. In fact, this t-shirt that I'm wearing right now was birthed from that series. When I want to learn, I listen. This is an all-time favorite. I think I've sold more of this than anything else that I've made. It's an all-time favorite. We've regenerated this 3 times, 3 or 4 times, 3 or 4 different series that we've done since 2010, 2011, 12 till now. And it's still going strong. It's very simple. I think if you look at my website and even on Facebook, you'd actually see me wearing this, and I wear this quite a lot. I love the simplicity of the quote. And so what we will do today is, this is kind of like a short intro about Series 2, and I'll go through each and every one of the t-shirts. So now you've seen the t-shirts. There's a series of 3. The first one was a series of 5. This one is a series of 3. So you had, and I quote, the first one is, when I want to learn, I listen, which is that. The second one is, in every lie is some truth. And the third one, which didn't really do very well, but I like it. It says, with each passing day, I get better at being me. So we'll take them in turn. I'll start with this one. With each passing day, I get better at being me. So let me just run the titles again. The first one is, when I want to learn, I listen. The second one is, in every lie is some truth. And the third one is, with each passing day, I get better at being me. So let's start with each passing day, I get better at being me. In 2003, I had a really bad accident. I cut my hand here, and I lost partial use of these last 2 fingers. I hit my hand on a bowl, and the bowl shattered, and there was a big gash there, and literally cut a nerve and an artery in my hand, and I lost a lot of blood. And long story short, I survived. I was in the hospital for a while, so I had to have an operation done on this, and they couldn't repair the nerve connection. So one nerve, they sort of like cut off an artery, and they let the nerve try and re-repair itself. So the hand works, but it doesn't work as well as it should. But during the time when I was in the hospital, I was already, I knew about Tony Robbins, and there was a program that he had out there called Get the Edge. And I went and I bought the CD, I bought the entire set, because I was also learning to be a life coach then. So I bought the entire set, and like 15 CDs or so. I can't remember how many. And I did this program, and one of the programs was a power walk that you do every day. And so I, put on the Walkman and headphones and do the power walk. And then there was something we had to recite, touching your fingers, the tip of your fingers, and it says, every day in every way I'm getting better and better. Every day in every way I'm getting stronger and stronger. And that stayed with me. I enjoyed the process because I would go to the park. I was living in England then. I would go to the park, I would run, I would walk, I would exercise every day, I would do this power walk, and at the same time I was rehabilitating, and I was able to heal quite fast and get back to normal ways. It was interesting doing that. And there was a day, a few years after that, I was asking myself, it just replayed in the head, and I was asking myself, every day in every way I'm getting better and better, I'm getting stronger and stronger. So every day in every way I'm actually getting to know myself better. So the question of who am I now becomes a little bit clearer. With every day I'm learning to know more about myself. And so that's really what precipitated this quote. With every passing day, I get better at being me. Now, when I say being me, being myself, being who I am. For me to be who I am, I have to know who I am. For me to know who I am, I have to be curious about finding out who I am. I have to understand that I don't really know who I am. Because if I knew who I was, then I wouldn't be better at being who I know I am, if that makes any sense. There's lots of I ams there. So, the whole point of that is, with each passing day, I get better at being me, is learning each and every day about myself and improving the relationship I have with myself, learning about things that I do that I should, things that I do that I shouldn't, making corrections, making adjustments, the way I interface with people, the way I interact with people, the way I interact with people, the way I act in the capacity that I am in, let's say as a business owner, how I interact with staff, how I interact with other people I do work with, how I interact with family, how I interact with my wife, my kids, what kind of relationship I have with them, how can I improve the relationship with them by improving myself, not just improving the process of communication, but improving who I am. This goes back again to not lying to myself. See, it always comes back there. The refusal to tell myself lies is the greatest amount of respect that I can give myself. And if I do that, then when I mess up, I don't try and rationalize, or I don't try and, transfer it or project it to something else. I just accept it when I mess up. If I tell a stupid lie, I'll be like, you told a stupid lie. What did you gain from that? I mean, what was the whole point of doing that? What were you afraid of? It's not a question of just persecuting myself. It's having an understanding of why I do what I do. And then I would choose consciously now to do it less. I mean, I used to be a really, really good liar. World class. I used to lie for no reason. And at some point in time, I started to ask myself what the benefit was, because I couldn't track all the lies. You tell a lie and you're telling another lie and another lie, and all of a sudden you get lost in so many, and then people question you on them and you get lost. And ultimately, when you get caught out, it's not a good feeling, it's not a pleasant feeling, because you sort of lose trust. You lose the trust you have that you have built with others. And, it's not a good thing to be somebody that is unworthy of another person's confidence. Let's not use the word trust, because that's quite serious. Another person's confidence. So you've misplaced the confidence they have in you. And so in order to avoid doing that, I made a concerted effort to stop telling lies just because I could, or because I needed to understand why I lie, and then try and see if I could switch that with the truth. It's a gradual process. it worked for me. I don't know if it'll work for you, but this is the way I actually deal with it. So every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better at being me. And that's the reason why that quote came out. It's a bit of a long one, but I do hope it makes some sense, and that you gain a little bit from the way I've explained it, and you can expand on it yourself and reach whatever conclusion is favorable for you. I appreciate your time. Thank you. And stay tuned for the second part coming right up. Hello, we're back. Second part now, or the second t-shirt, second quote, whichever way we want to call it. I mean, this is all about Inspirewear. This is about my brand. I'm relaunching it. I'm going to do it bigger and better. I'm going to actually have a wider range. I'm going to recreate some of the old ones that are favorites. I'll do a survey very soon. I'll send out, create a web on the website where people can actually come and choose which t-shirts they like, and then we'll produce, because of the logistics situation, me living in Indonesia, and a lot of people that I know that have actually asked me for the t-shirts are in Nigeria and in London and some in America. I would have to see the best way to do it. I bulk ship to different locations and then have people have a drop, what do they call, drop shipment locations where people can actually go and pick up the t-shirts. But all that is coming. Hopefully we would start all that fully in 2021. And okay, so now the next one is a favorite of mine, because this has started a few arguments, started a few conversations, started a few quarrels even. And it goes, in every lie is some truth. Now, the original quote was, in every lie lays some truth. Okay, it's self-explanatory. I don't really need to go into a lot of depth with regards to this one. It's really self-explanatory. In every lie is some truth. The best lie is the one that carries the greatest amount of truth, or the greatest percentage of truth. So I've always said that a lie is the omission of detail of truth. Because if I say to you, I'm a cat, that's an evident lie. I'm not a cat, I'm a human being, yes? But then, again, there could be a colloquialism that describes me as a cat. So that's really, on some level, true. Some people might refer to people like me as a cat. Look at that cat. I'm a cat. See, it's difficult. So I went into two different directions with this. I talked about what is true and what is truth. What is true is subjective, as they say. Truth is true. What is true is subjective, depending. But what is truth is foundational. Truth is, it can't be changed. Like I was talking about my phloem, I am truth. I think about 4 or 5 videos ago, I read that out. Anybody who wants that, please let me know. I'll send you. You can buy a copy of my book, and it's in there. I am truth. And truth is truth. You can't bend it. It's foundational. It's like water is wet, fire will burn. If you jump up, you will come down. It's gravity. These are truths. These are foundational. These are universal truths. 1 + 1 is 2, even on Jupiter. That is truth. So when you put that in that perspective, then truth is truth. It's foundational. So I always said that what is truth can never be used to deceive. Because how can I use water will get you wet to deceive you? I don't know. Maybe somebody really clever can tell me, but I can't see it. What is truth cannot be used to deceive. And that's one of the reasons why you have to delineate between what is man and what is divine, or what is nature. Because what is nature is truth. What is man is true. because even language is true. But language is of man, is a means of communication. So it too may be corrupt. I'm not saying it is, I'm saying it may be corrupt. So this is the thing that you have to sort of like walk out within yourself. You have to sit down and evaluate things that you hear and decide what is true, what is truth. Truth is foundational. It is indisputable over time, beyond time, and past time. It's indisputable. It's beyond contest. So, but in every lie is some truth, or lays some truth. One of the two. So, a good lie, like I said, has to have a foundation of truth in it. If you want to tell, this is a favorite of mine. When I used to work in the city in London, I'd get to the office late and it'd be like, what happened? I was stuck in traffic. Now, I wasn't stuck in traffic. I just left the house late. But I got stuck in traffic because I left the house late. See, it's a well-constructed lie. Very simplistic, but in itself, it's something that you cannot challenge so much because it is something that you have perceived to be reality. Living in a place like London, you'd always get stuck in traffic at some point in time. I didn't tell him that I left the house late, just that I got stuck in traffic, So that's that. I think it's one of those things that if we try to explain finitely, we're never going to arrive anywhere because everybody has a different opinion of this, and it's just something interesting. This particular T-shirt is thought-provoking. It just makes you think, makes you laugh, smile, and think, yeah, right, maybe, or whatever. So that's why I did that one. It was just to sort of like provoke a reaction, and then you just jolt people up. So you get to exercise the mind muscles a little bit. So that's my own explanation and take on in every lie is some truth. Stay tuned for the next one. I'll be back in a few minutes. Thank you. Welcome back. Now the next one is the all-time favorite. Probably the best quote that I've ever come up with. I love it. I've had 4 or 5 designs done on it. I have it on the wall somewhere. I use it's a favorite of mine. It's one that I've probably sold more T-shirts with this quote than anything else. Any other T-shirt that I've sold in the entire series over the years, it always goes. Once I actually get them into production, I put them on the shelf, they're gone. I put them on the shelf, they're gone. And I think it's because it's so simple. It's evidence of greatness in simplicity. Let's just put it that way. This particular quote is evidence of greatness in simplicity. I hope my voice isn't too loud. I think I'm very close to the mic. I have to move back a little bit. And so this is the same as you see here. Beautiful quote. When I want to learn, I listen. And it's so amazing. This came from my son. I left England in 2006 to come and live in Indonesia. And prior to that, I got divorced in 1996, about that, 1996, 96, 97. And so I used to pick up my son for the weekends and all that. And there are times when he would say something to me and I wouldn't really pay attention to it. And then as he grew older, our relationship would have moments where we would quarrel over things that I easily could have avoided us quarreling over, simply because I didn't respect the fact that he was growing up fast and he was maturing, and so I still treated him like my son. This is my boy, and this came about, I think, in 2011. trip I made back to England when I was with him. I think I went 2011, and I arrived on his birthday on the 3rd of July. Shouldn't be giving that away, but let's leave that out there. On his birthday, and was a surprise. And during the conversation, I think that day or a couple of days later, we're walking down the road, and he said something that I thought was out of context, and I got upset. And he said, "You never listened to me. You wouldn't learn. You'd never learn how to treat me. You'd never learn how to deal with me because you never listened." And that was a jolt. That was a big jolt. I mean, we still had quarrels after that. We've had fights after that, but that taught me something, that if I want to learn, regardless of how much I know or how much I assume I know, when I really, really want to learn, if I want to learn, I should just listen. And I apply that to many things. I listen to myself when I talk. These videos I make, I probably watch them just as much, or if not more than most, because it gives me feedback on me, myself, my mannerisms, facial expression, the way I speak, the clarity, the presentation. Keep tweaking, to make sure that I can actually deliver the best videos I can, because I do this myself and with the people who help me with the editing. I just get the equipment and I assemble everything, and I just do it, and I do it because I love doing it, because I want to share some of the philosophies that I've adopted over the years, that I've created over the years as well. I've adopted some, I've created some, I've aligned some with others, and I've come up with my own unique set of philosophies, and I usually put them in terms of in quote terms, and which I publish on social media and on many other outlets. Also in my book and in the books coming. So learning is, I think the day I stop learning is the day I die. I don't think I'd ever stop learning. And most importantly, I don't think I'd ever stop learning about myself. And if I want to learn about me, I have to listen to me. I have to have some quiet time, some time for introspection, meditation, to hear that still small voice, to hear my conscience cry, my intuition speak, and my heart sing. See, listening is a very, very powerful thing to do. I have my wife, and when my wife wants to discuss situations, and regardless of how frustrated I am sometimes, or how stressed I am with regards to business and my day, I would make time to listen. Perhaps sometimes not attentively, she would say, but I'll listen nonetheless. Same with my son. Same with my daughter. Same with my family. I make time to listen. Before I used to be very confrontational. I would talk most of the time. Now I listen, and then I will interject if you allow me to. And I don't impose my opinions on anybody anymore. And that's why a lot of things I write, I say, in my opinion. In my opinion. That's my opinion. Everybody has theirs. So listening is powerful. It's a powerful thing. It's an amazing way of re-educating. There's this assumption that we know, when in reality we don't. Like what Nietzsche said, we live under the assumption that we think, when in actuality we are being thought. And it's very interesting that we can realize that this is the case, living in this COVID time. Our reality is being displayed for us. The agenda that we need to follow is being created for us. We can see it all happening. What they're telling us to do. Now you can't actually celebrate this. How many people will be in your house and all that. We thought we knew. But do we? So it's important. I think that one is an all-time favorite of mine. When I want to learn, I listen. I think the world is full of so much noise right now. So many distractions. So many contradicting views. There's an overflow of information. In fact, we are overloaded with information. And we're at the point where we can disseminate between what makes sense and what doesn't because of the amount of information and the glamour that surrounds the information that we get. So it is important to take some time and listen. And hopefully you will learn when you do. And so that ends this series of 3. Brilliant. I enjoyed this one. And there's so many. Now we're moving into, like I said, the designer of this, his name is Yogi. I have Michael series, which was done. I have one done by Dali. I have one done by, I just call her American Girl. She did really a fairly up-to-date one, and the ones that I actually did, plus the Niger series, the No Shaking, and quite a few that I will talk about. But I would sort of like mix and match and bring the ones that I believe, or I hope, not just assume, I hope are pertinent. That's the information that they put forward is useful. So we wouldn't just sit down and be vibing without you getting some kind of constructive piece of information from this interaction. Yes? Yeah. It's the big lips. That's why sometimes my words get crushed up. Well, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for your audience. Like I said, if you like the videos I do, please subscribe. Facebook, you can subscribe and hit the notification button on that. You go to the YouTube channel, which is YouTube/user/EAPENU. Subscribe, hit the notification button, and you will get updates with regards to videos that I do. My website is ea2wo.com. On social media platforms, you would find me, ea2wo.com. Type that in, Instagram, whichever one you want, you'd find me there. And I'll be making more videos talking about things that I feel are useful. Talk about Inspirewear, what inspired most of the quotes and all that. And until the next video, I wish you happiness and success in all that you do, long life, prosperity, safety, and some semblance of sanity in this insane time. And I always close by saying, please, as much as you can, make every effort to refuse to lie to yourself, because that's the greatest form of respect that you can give yourself. Much love to you and yours. Thank you. Have a nice day.